Hey everybody, welcome to the Science of Golf Performance. My name is Tyler, and today I'm going to talk to you about how you can increase your longevity in golf with mobility. I get asked this all the time. When could I be doing mobility? When should I be doing mobility? Is there such thing as too much mobility, and how is mobility going to help me? Hey, well, the first thing that I want to talk about is what can you be doing for mobility to help increase your longevity in golf? One thing that you can be doing is called a technique called myofascial release. So here at Par for Success, we like to use lacrosse balls, baseballs, tennis balls, softballs to penetrate a specific trigger point. These trigger points are located among different muscle groups and tendons along your major rotary centers. So what we do, a really good example of this, my boss Chris actually shared this with me, is if you have a plate of spaghetti and you wind up spaghetti around your fork, the spaghetti noodles get wound really tight. That's what a trigger point would be. So say, for example, you have poor shoulder external rotation. Well, that means that there's a trigger point located among the specific muscle groups that are controlling external rotation that are wound up like those spaghetti noodles. So a really good way in getting those tendons and those muscle groups to be unwound is to penetrate them with a lacrosse ball or a softball or a baseball. This usually isn't the most comfortable technique, but it is extremely effective. Downside to this is I always tell everybody myofascial release is almost a band-aid fix though. It's gonna give you instant relief, but it's not gonna give you relief for a long period of time. To be able to get that, you have to do some type of resistance with that movement. So go back to our shoulder external rotation. Hey, poor external rotation here, I can hit the trigger point, I can get myself to go into a deeper range of motion, but then after that you need to do an exercise, whether it be pushing up against the wall, doing an assisted exercise against the floor to try and stretch through that greater range of motion and hold that stretch through your muscles and tendons. Hey, after you do the myofascial release, hey, you do some active movement to increase the range of motion. The last step to increasing your mobility is you have to strengthen that movement pattern. Okay? This is the most important piece because you can do the myofascial release, you can do the active movement, but again, those are only going to last for so long. Ultimately, strengthening that pattern is what's going to give you the greater longevity with your mobility, specifically when it comes to golf. So again, hit it with a trigger point, do a myofascial release, work through your active range of motion, and then strengthen the movement pattern. With this, I tell everybody mobility work can be done any time as much as a single time in a day, or I tell people if you have extra time, you can do it anywhere up to 2 or 3 times a day. I actually had a gentleman who I was training the other year, and he would tell me Monday night football, every Monday night was mobility night. He'd work on all 4 of his rotary centers while he'd be on the floor watching Monday night football. So whether it be just waking up early in the morning, hitting your trigger points, doing your active movement and strengthening work, or maybe later in the evening after dinner, going through the same sequencing. So I hope you found this video resourceful. If you did, give it a like, give it a subscribe, and be sure to check out the rest.